Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are safe. Please do double mask up, sanitize frequently, and maintain physical distancing. A third wave is coming at us soon, and we need to face it. So take the precautions, get vaccinated, and take care of your loved ones too. You're listening to Elton Talks. I'm your host Elton, and in this episode, we are going to be discussing the third episode of Loki, Lamentis. This episode felt like a letdown after two amazing episodes. I guess I got accustomed to seeing the TVA and the fun banter between Loki and movies. This episode was more about getting to know Loki and Sylvie better. When something happens or doesn't happen in this episode, we know why, and that is just amazing setup. For those who thought the first two episodes were slow or wasted time, this should change your mind. However, we got three big reveals in this episode, and we are going to be discussing that in detail. The opening scene of this episode gives us an understanding of how Sylvie's powers work. Sylvie enters the TVA and tries to use her powers, which is questioning, as she mentions later that the plan that Loki interrupted had years of planning behind it. However, Sylvie shows off some of her fighting skills, which I liked. We get to know a lot more about Sylvie when she is stranded on Lamentis 1 with Loki. She says that she is Sylvie now, meaning she was Loki once? Could this variant of Loki have chose to be a girl and hence Sylvie? Or is she referring to a life-changing moment when she decided to change her name? She also reveals that she has faint memories of her mother, hinting at a different history than what we know. Promotional material for episode 4 has shown a younger Sylvie brought into the TVA, so we should learn more about her in upcoming episodes. Loki arrives at the TVA following Sylvie but ends up fighting her and saving her from Renslayer, leaving Sylvie and him stranded on Lamentis 1. Loki gets to show Sylvie that he is no less than her. The following scene demonstrates what a wonderful team Sylvie and Loki could make. Loki by copying the guard's costume and Sylvie by mind controlling the guard when they start to doubt Loki manage to get on the train. Loki explains how his powers work, and there is untold chemistry in the scene. It was almost like Loki was falling in love with Sylvie. Also, the way he looks at Sylvie when singing the Asgardian song emotes the same feeling. One of the biggest revelations we get is through a well-written dialogue between Sylvie and Loki, leading to the confirmation that Loki and Sylvie are indeed bisexual, which is huge considering how popular the character is and has been around since almost the beginning of the MCU. But will it ever get to be more than a dialogue? One more thing to notice is that Lamentis 1 has the same color scheme as the bisexual flag, that is purple and pink, which is a great nod to Loki and Sylvie's gender identity. Loki and Sylvie decide to hijack the Ark and define what has to happen get it off Lamentis 1, which would create a branch timeline drawing the attention of the TVA, hence saving them. During their walk to the Ark, Loki asks Sylvie how her powers work. As she is explaining her powers, she talks about getting information from Hunter C-20, who had memories from almost 100 years ago before joining the TVA, and Sylvie reveals that all the TVA agents are variants from Earth. As I said in my review for episode 2, Mobius's fascination for the 90s had got to do something with him. This revelation leaves the doors wide open. The timekeepers could be real, or Kang could actually be behind all this. But one thing we know for sure now is that the so-called timekeepers aren't strong enough to create life. This revelation also sets up several interesting directions in which the story could go. It came as no surprise that the Ark would be destroyed, and hence I wasn't shocked when it happened. But one thing I hadn't noticed was that the scene was one shot. I need to appreciate the amount of effort put into that one final segment, though it has a lot of cheat cuts as many people call it. One of the highlights of the segment is when Loki holds and puts back a large piece of debris, something we have not seen him do till date. At one point during their run towards the Ark, Loki and Sylvie mirror each other's attack in the opposite direction, which was clever to show they are similar yet not in some way. In conclusion, as much as I wasn't impressed with this episode on first viewing, a rewatch would surely help, though I haven't done it yet. Surely excited to see where the story is headed, but with just 3 episodes left, I am also a bit nervous whether they can actually nail. I will see you next week with the review for the 4th episode of Loki. Until then, take care of yourself and your loved ones. Love you 3000.